Hey, it's Tanya with tonyamadelife here, and I'm here to talk about what I did before I took the first shot. So, if you haven't looked at my other videos, it kind of talked about how in the world I got to the point of even considering a GLP-1 medication to help me lose weight. I'll link the previous video in the description box of this video. So, one of the things, and I think I've talked about it before, the source of all wisdom and experience, of course, YouTube. And I did a lot of research. And the great thing about it, you have doctors who are prescribing these drugs, telling you, here's what I'm seeing in my patients. And you also have people who are taking them talking about what their experiences were. So, in addition to what the drug manufacturers talk about are the potential side effects of the drugs. And so, I was able to get all the information about what to expect and what to be on the lookout for. And, the things you've heard of: diarrhea, possibly constipation, really, really bad constipation, nausea, and pretty much the gastrointestinal side effects. And, I was like, okay, I know my system, by the grace of God, is pretty efficient. And that means if I eat something that's bad within the hour, my stomach will I will know it. I get a sick feeling, and within about 10 minutes later, I'm in the bathroom and it's coming, I'm throwing it up or something. And after that, I'm completely fine. So that feeling, I don't like that feeling. Luckily, like I said, for me, it does not last. So I can't imagine to, be taking the drugs and you have that feeling and it goes on for days. And so one of the things that I knew, I was like, okay, from what people were saying, the risk of having those type of side effects goes up based on what you eat. If you're gonna take them and keep eating, the sugary, processed, high fat diet that you were eating before, the likelihood of you experiencing the diarrhea, the constipation, and all of that really goes up. So one of the first things I did was try to figure out, okay, how can I eat different realistically? What can I realistically eat that will reduce my risk of having those side effects? And so that was the first thing I worked on. The other things, which common to all weight loss, and I know I struggled with it last year when I had my weight loss coach, and that was eating enough protein. So I knew I had to try to solve that issue. Drink more water, which, wow, we ain't having drinking some. Drink more water, which, yeah, I remember this year when I had my physical, my doctor was like, you need to drink more water. And I was like, what? I've never had her tell me like that. And I know last year's physical, the first thing she said was, I can see you're well hydrated. So I call myself drinking enough, but for whatever reason, I need to drink more. So that's something I need to do anyway. So the other thing I knew from my talks with my coach, for me, they wanted me to limit the red meat. And, I think red meat, I think beef. But in my weight loss coach that I have now, through my I will say, my United Healthcare been all over the news in the past months, but I will say the program that I'm in is called Calibrate, and it is through my company health plan, which is now, we moved to United Healthcare last year, and I like the program. They take a holistic approach to things, and so I do have a weight loss coach in addition to a clinical doctors who actually kind of, they did all the blood work, the metabolic panels and all of that. And so one of the things in their view of food, they have this system where they classify things Um, Green foods, pretty much unlimited amount, all the way down to red foods, which they don't say don't eat at all, but really limited. And so for me, red meat is a red food, and it's not just beef. It's pork, it's lamb. Anything else other than chicken and fish is a red food. So I knew I would have to limit those. And so that kind of, chicken, fish, and then vegetarian meals. So my biggest challenge is figuring out, okay, more than what can I eat? And what can I eat? Instead of not what I can't eat, what I can eat. And I knew with me in my grocery store and, not being, and I like to cook and I can cook. There are other things I'd rather do than cook, like sit at the computer. So I had to figure all of that out because I knew, the first thing I knew, I'm not going to be on this medication forever. My strategy was that just like this year, I developed, I've kind of gotten a habit of making my bed every day with putting all the pillows and everything on there. And once I did it for 30 days, it was a habit. And so my strategy is to use the GLP-1 and the way that I need to eat to help me to build new habits around what I eat, such that when I get to the weight that I want to be, I can get off the medicine, and now I have these new habits to support that weight and not the weight I am now. So that's my strategy. People who, want to get the shot and just think you're going to keep eating what you've been eating, I think you either will not lose weight at all or it'll be very slow. And yes, the minute you get off of it, you're going to gain all the weight back because you're eating enough for a 300-pound person, the calorie intake part of it. Then the other side of it, which is something that was just mind-blowing to me that I had not heard before, that, all the approaches over my lifetime to weight loss have been, calorie counting, meaning control. You just eat less. And a lot of things, even kind of with the low carb side, it's still try to eat less carbs and all of that. But the piece that I think is missing and why we are seeing so many people be successful with the new weight loss strategies is because of the hormone effect. And so the latest science is that even more than what you eat, how much you eat, certain things that we can eat tell our brains to release insulin. And insulin tells our body to store whatever we eat as fat instead of burning it. So you could be a person, let's say you eat salad every day, but you happen to be putting a high sugar dressing on it. That sugar in that dressing will trigger your brain to release insulin, and that insulin will tell your body, store all that's lettuce and tomatoes and celery and cucumbers, store that as fat instead of having it where her body, you can burn it for energy. And so that was, for me, knowing that is a game changer, and so I think that and intermittent fasting and what it does for insulin levels, I think all of those things are why we are seeing people lose such huge amounts of weight, especially those people who, have traditionally said, oh, once you get over 40 or 50 or 60, it's impossible to lose weight and all that. And we see today it's absolutely not true. People are doing it every day all over the internet. So I thought that for me was a big game changer. And so I then just had to figure out what to eat. And so what I did, I kind of put all that information and figured out what that would look like to me. And one of the first things I did was increase my fruit intake, which I love fruit. But, I thought about, I don't really eat a lot of fresh fruit. And so Strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries are on my daily grocery list. And I use them, wash them, and I put the other thing, Greek yogurt. Plain Greek yogurt. Don't get the vanilla kind. It's loaded with sugar. You can put your own vanilla extract in it. I usually eat it with fruit, and I put cinnamon in it. I put chopped up walnuts in it, gives more protein, and I might put flax seeds in it. And if by chance the fruit isn't sweet naturally, and so, because Greek yogurt is very tangy, and so sometimes if the fruit isn't sweet, it's not as good. So what I will do, I'll sprinkle a little monk fruit sweetener on top of it. And monk fruit is that's the sweetener my sweetener of choice if I have to have it. Like if I'm making, my other thing, flavored beverages, yes, it would be great if I would drink 100 ounces of water, but yeah, it's really hard for me to do that. But if I put some flavor in there, I can just drink it like that. So what I have adapted to, I have a whole bunch of teas. I have a green tea, and typically I will mix a green tea with like blood orange tea, passion fruit, some other kind of tea bags. And I make that up. I may put a little monk fruit in there for sweetener, put water, fill it up with water, and I can just drink, 80, 100 ounces of that relatively easy. So that's something else, because me did not meet a tropical cran mango peach watermelon fruity beverage that I did not like. So, the sugar in those, even with someone, actually, I had my church members over at my house, and I told them when they were getting ready to go, they had a whole little jug of cran mango and then some kind of peach watermelon drink. And I said, y'all take those with you. And of course, they left them there. And they stayed in my fridge for a while. But then I was like, man, I kind of want something fruity. And so what I did, I watered them down drastically. But still, it was sugar in it. Even watered down, like 4-to-1 ratio. And I've discovered as I've cut back on my sweets that I can, if I try to go back and drink a regular cran mango, it's just overwhelmingly sweet and I can't take it. So I think that has really helped me. So monk fruit is something else, which I already had that from before when I tried keto before, and I know there are keto desserts and things like that. So monk fruit is just my sweetener of choice. And so added lots of fruit. I added more fish to cook. And the other thing that really has helped me tremendously. So I bought an air fryer at the Amazon sale last July, and it sat in my garage in the box for like 2 months. When I take it out, it had a little chip in it. And I'm like, golly, that's what you get for not opening packages the minute you get them. And I waited too late to return it. So it's kind of been sitting in the cabinet. I was trying to figure out, okay, am I going to use it? Is it going to set the house on fire? Do I just need to throw it away? What? So when I was starting this process and I looked at it and I was like, it's, just a little metal outside casing on the back of it is kind of missing on a little corner. But, I looked at it and said, we're going to try this thing. If it starts smoking, then I'll unplug it and throw it away. Child, the best kitchen appliance ever. Woo. When I tell you, I have made chicken, I made salmon. Oh my gosh, I've made sweet potatoes. I've done green beans in there. It is absolutely fabulous. I tried frozen greens, did not work so well. They need to be sauteed and yeah. So yes, but I love that, and it's so easy and quick. All I have to do, marinate, my chicken or fish, marinate them skinless chicken thighs overnight and pop them in there. Oh my gosh. Just game changer, game changer. So if you do not have an air fryer, get you one. It'll be just your friend. So that is something else. So all of those things have kind of helped me to begin to change what I eat, and I know um, it's not easy, but I noticed some things. I noticed that before I would always kind of have like a little low level bloating going on. And I noticed week um, by week two, I noticed I never have that. I just never have that. Because you have to remember, I started eating like this before I took the first shot. Because I knew I gave myself some time to get used to that. Because it was no point in me starting these shots and still, eating hamburgers or eating what else do I eat? Buffalo tenders. And honestly, I don't eat bad. There are a few things though. I like hamburgers. I like fries. I like buffalo tenders, and I will have a piece of fried chicken maybe a couple times a year. So I started before. So this is before I took a shot, but I noticed I didn't feel bloated. And I know yogurt is really good for your digestion and all of that. Plus all the fiber was really helping a whole lot. Plus you get water from those things. And so those are the things that I did, kind of getting myself ready before I took the first shot concerning my diet. So I think that's very important. No, I don't meal prep. I hadn't gotten there yet. Um, I don't separate stuff out into dishes, and so I will cook stuff, and then I put it in a large container, and then I kind of section it out like that. So yeah, yeah. I made shrimp. I was thinking about what else have I cooked. I made shrimp in the air fryer. So yeah, sweet potatoes, which they were okay. I think I needed higher heat for those. So that the other big challenge, yeah, everybody in my family got a sweet tooth, and we rarely met a peach cobbler or banana pudding. Or my mom, I don't like banana pudding. My mom does. Not a big ice cream person, but I love, oh, excuse me, y'all, cake and pie. Cupcakes, strawberry cake is like one of my favorite. A good chocolate cake that's milk chocolate, not too bitter. Those are the things. Pecan pie, yeah, probably. I typically was having probably at least 2 desserts every week. So yeah, and I was like, okay, you're gonna want something sweet. And that fruit and yogurt mix with the little monk fruit, it satisfied that sweet. And I noticed I did not crave sweets like I normally would, so that has really helped me. You still have to willpower, or you still have to be conscious, and not that you're not going to, especially with me picking up food from my mom. She's 81, and she wants to eat what she wants to eat. And yeah, her and the kitchen are absolutely not best friends. And so I'm going to pick her up stuff, and sometimes it's from places where they have something I like. And if I don't have anything at home prepared, which that's a lifestyle issue, you know, always have some food prepared. Always, because if I have something at home and I know what I'm gonna eat, then I won't get me anything. But if I don't have anything prepared and I don't really feel like cooking, then especially some of the places she goes, they don't really have quote healthy options. So I have to kind of limit that. So just thinking through all those kind of food scenarios in advance and coming up with something to handle them, it kind of helps you to make better choices, and also not getting too hungry. And like I said, I know 90% of my weight is lifestyle, and that means I spend too much time on the computer. Why? Because I like it. It's fun. And I have some small business ventures that I'm working on that I want to grow so I can quit my day job and possibly move to Mexico, but that's a whole nother blog. Yeah, so there's all of that. And just, it's probably, yeah, doing that instead of other things like cooking. I'd rather be at the computer, and so that's out of balance. And I can, much as I like it, I can see in the newfangled terms it has not served me well, evidenced by my weight. So I can, decide, okay, you can keep doing that, that's fun and you like it and it's enjoyable. But it's like it boils down to how bad do you want to lose the weight? How bad do you want to lose it? And I will say, I'm so over being fat at this point. I'm very much over it in a way that I don't think I ever have before. So there's that. Trying to think what else I'm trying to do this video primarily to help people, because I have looked at so many videos that have really helped me with tips and advice. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to share my tips and advice for someone else who may have been saying, oh, no, I don't want to do that. But your doctor, like me, I was like, you know what? You may want to consider it, and you're doing research and you want to hear people's experiences. So that's why I'm doing this video, to kind of add to the stories, to tell you definitely pray about it, consider it, and have a plan. Have a plan. Like I said, my plan, I will not be on this medication, not 1 week or day longer than I need to be on it. So that means changing my lifestyle so that I have the lifestyle of a person who wears a size 16, 18, because that's my ideal size. I'm 5'8", so we will not be out in these streets wearing a size 10 or 8. That just don't make sense. That would be, if I get down even a 14, that's the size I was when I graduated from high school. So that's the thing. So let me look. I made some notes, so let me look over here to make sure I'm covering everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah, that's pretty much the things. Yeah. Have a plan. Have a plan. Know that you have to make changes, and go back to, are you really willing to make those changes? And yeah, you can do it. So if I got on the shots, start taking them, anybody can, because I was very much, nope, I can do it. I can do it. Nope, I can do it. I can do it. So yeah, in 2025, we're getting help if we need help. It's like, how many times do we have to try to do something? And it has not worked, or it has not worked long term. To, say, oh no, I can do it. And I'm like, we're going to get some help with this. You still got to do the hard work. You still got to do it. You can't take it and keep eating McDonald's. So get the help to kind of help you to do it. And, because like I said, once you lose, like I said, once I lose probably about 40 pounds, it's like once I get to that point, I can probably take it from there, because at that point, that's less weight on your joints when you're exercising. That's more energy. So you'll feel like doing some things. So yeah, use it as a support to get you where you need to go, and to help you build those new habits, and then go from there. So this is Tonya from Tonya Made Life. Until next time, bye-bye, y'all.